names have been disclosed. Some other things are going to happen later today. There's going to be a press conference. This is going to be a very difficult day for my client, and I've talked to a lot of you, and I do have great respect for all of you. Please just maintain her privacy as best you can, and if you have other questions, I'm glad to speak with you, but right now we just have to keep in mind that this is a very sensitive situation for a young woman, that this information has just come out. You've just heard some very personal details about what happened to her, some details that I was not even aware of, so just please keep that in mind, okay?
Can you tell us how she's doing? When was the last time you talked to her?
The last time I talked to her was Sunday night. I did not speak to her yesterday. I will be calling her as soon as we're done here. She's doing as best as she can, but I'm sure that this is going to be really difficult when she finds out what's been put on the public record. So it's not going to be easy.
Were you satisfied with the investigation, how it went, and how it was conducted?
The police investigation? Yes, I was. The police did an exemplary job, and the detective that you saw today has been great. He's been wonderful, and I really respect the job that the university police did. They did a really good job. So,
what about the Jones Day report? What's your reaction to it and its findings?
I don't really have any comment on that. I haven't really had time to read it in depth because it came out so late in the day yesterday. I will say this: what they said, I'm not surprised that they came back and said that there was no issue with Coach D'Antonio, but that's really not my main concern. My main concern right now is what's going to happen with these three young men and with my client. So if the university chooses to say that they took care of everything after it happened, that's certainly their choice to do so.
And just what's your thoughts on these young men? I mean, they came here to play football, to go to school, and they're accused of a pretty heinous act.
Well, I always maintain that these young men are entitled to their due process, and I want to continue to maintain that. The criminal procedure has to take its course, and I don't want to make any comment on their character or what they've done, because that really would be very premature. If what has been alleged really happened, then clearly this is a pretty awful situation, and there's a serious lapse of judgment in what these young men have done, and that's the only comment that I'm going to make on that.
You mentioned that if the Michigan State thought that they handled things properly, did you feel differently that they didn't handle things properly?
No, I'm not necessarily saying that. I'm just saying that there's a whole lot more to the situation than just what happened the day after it was reported. I mean, there's a whole global, there's a whole global issue here about what's going on, and it's not narrowed just to that one little piece of the day after or the night after or whatever. There's a whole lot more to it.
But what do you mean by that, Karen, that there's a whole lot more to it?
Well, look how many